Jack Halebian is on the line, and we're going to talk about his magazine, HPG Networks. How are you doing today?
I'm good. It's been pretty busy. I work in both advertising and I sort of run this online magazine on the side. So between the two of them, it keeps me pretty busy.
I can imagine. So, what was it that inspired you to start, your magazine and also working in marketing and everything?
So I graduated college in 2018. My sister also works in advertising, so she sort of helped me get my first job in the industry. And it was, it's crazy looking back pre-COVID. I was going into the office every day.
Yeah.
It was a pretty standard 9 to 6, sometimes 7. And then COVID happened, and with COVID, that really freed up a lot of time. And I thought, it would be a waste of time not to use this time productively. So I used that time to sort of build the infrastructure of an online magazine. And once I had the infrastructure in place, after everything sort of started ramping up, after the lockdowns eased and everything, it turned into a pretty turnkey. It's sort of like a blog website. So I've been able to publish content pretty turnkey since then. So it's sort of like my exit strategy from my 9 to 5. So I'm
Yeah.
just glad that I had the opportunity to build and grow it during COVID, because otherwise I never would have had that opportunity to do something like this.
So, what kind of topics do you cover within the magazine?
They say to start with a niche, but I really built something like really full and holistic. It covers everything from politics to business news to film reviews to local. So it's based out of New York City. It covers a lot of New York City specific content as well. So we have a lot of reviews on like cocktail bars, restaurants, and it's such a fast-paced city that there are restaurants that close and open almost every week, it feels like. So
Wow.
the website offers a really intuitive, a lot of detail into a lot of the local New York City businesses, demographic changes, and how things sort of operate and sort of shift over time.
How do you manage to keep up to date with all these different topics, especially in New York City, which is quite fast paced?
I mean, it's hard. The output is not always consistent.
Yeah.
There's always busy and slow periods to any job. So when it's seasonally slow, I try to use that time to really build and produce articles that I can then schedule and schedule so that output is a little bit more consistent.
Yeah.
There are always tentative and important topics that I will try to publish and produce and put out as soon as possible if it's like a really cutting edge topic. So like coverage on the Ukraine war when that first broke out. One of the articles that really went viral was when the Capitol protests happened. I wanted to get coverage of that out sort of as soon as possible, regardless of what was going on in my other sort of projects. So it depends on what's viral, what's not as time sensitive. So it's a combination of being able to put the time sensitive topics out and coverage on time sensitive stuff, while also being able to build up that inventory of other cutting edge topics that I can put out on a more consistent cadence.
Yeah. Now, you cover all sorts of topics, and in order to do that, I take it you'll do some research. So, how do you understand all the information from different sources, and how do you know who to trust as well?
Yeah, I mean, I have a basket of people that I lean into. I have a variety of professionals. So I go to my financial advisor for any, and my brokerage for any financial tips or financial content. We have some doctors, lawyers. We have a variety of contributors that I'm able to really go to for personal insights into sort of broader topics. So if there there is a financial topic that comes out, for example, like the FTX crypto sort of collapse, I'll go
Yeah.
to my financial advisor and his sort of brokerage to get insight there. Everything sort of, so that's for business and politics related content. A lot of other content, so like for anything related to film or entertainment, a lot of that is easy to also research online. I mean, there's a variety, there's so many reviews out there. And then for anything that's local New York City content, a lot of it is just firsthand experiences. So I mean, I eat out a lot, so I'll
Yeah.
visit restaurants. I have a variety of friends that are also influencers that do brand activations. So they'll get sort of free passes to go into a restaurant and evaluate their food and their sort of chef, their kitchen, their vibe, and they're able to provide that insight there as well. So it's a really diverse network of friends, collaborators, and professionals that I can draw on their experience for, along with firsthand and interpersonal face-to-face experiences. So in combination, a lot of it really works together really, really well.
So what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe looking to start a business like yours, who maybe doesn't have the time or the money to invest in it?
It's all about just starting, regardless of whether you have the resources or the time or the energy. Just having the ability to just start is huge, because I mean there are periods of time where I'm not able to really provide the oversight or the cadence at which I'd really like, but just having it exist, just the existence is key, So I mean, a lot of people can get put off by the time and energy it takes to build something, but without starting, you'll never get there, regardless of what point you start from. So it's just like putting one foot in front of the other. You're never going to be able to do everything at once. So it's all about what you can do when you can do it.
And looking ahead, what are your main goals and priorities for your business in the next few years, and how do you plan to achieve them?
So my biggest goals now are really refining, because it really started out as a broad online publication that covered a lot of stuff. So what I'm trying to do now is really get niche and really look into what the audience is really focused on. And so I'm trying to really narrow down the content to focus on specifically what my readers and audience are interested in. So being able to build that content around the audience, that's sort of what I'm looking to do. And then once I'm able to do that, what I put out will be all the more useful to the readers and audiences that return to the website.
Is it sometimes hard to know who your audience is, or is your magazine something that has a target and it would be weird if the audience didn't end up being the target?
I have a lot of tools that are able to provide me with what sort of articles or content my audience favors.
Yeah.
So being able to build new content and new topics and new stuff around what has done well in the past really allows me to provide that foresight and determine where I should focus my time in the future.
Well, where are we able to find your magazine, HPG Networks, and keep up to date with you and everything you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's the website online. You can find it at literally just www.hpgnetworks.com. It's got 3 sections. It's got a business, entertainment, and lifestyle section. The business section covers anything from geopolitics to finance to industry news. The entertainment section is anything surrounding media, so films, streaming, anything that's new on Netflix or any of the streaming platforms. And then the lifestyle section is more focused around New York City local content, restaurant reviews. We have reviews on nightclubs, a whole variety of local New York City nightlife content. So those are sort of the 3 main pillars of the website, and they each have their own sections which live within www.hpgnetworks.com.
I'll make sure to check it out. Well, many thanks for talking to us today. It's been great to have you on.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was a pleasure.